Hi all, welcome to Andrea M. D'Souza's kitchen. Today is one of my favorites and that is Rajma Masala. I enjoy eating Rajma Chawal and for years I have been trying to find out the recipe that is really good and I think I finally found it and so I wanted to share it with you. So here's the recipe. It's extremely simple, no fuss recipe. So try it out and let me know how much you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Very basic masalas that I'm going to use. I have 2 katoris of rajma which I had soaked overnight. Now some people prefer soaking it for half an hour in hot water, but I don't like that. I like soaking my rajma for 10 to 12 hours in water. So this is how it looks like now. There are around 2 small onions which I have roughly chopped, some 5 or 6 pieces of garlic again roughly chopped, around half an inch of ginger and 2 or 3 green chilies. Green chilies can depend on your taste. Now these 4 things I'm going to coarsely grind it in the mixer, and after I'm done coarsely grinding that, coarsely grind these 2 tomatoes, and I also have some dhania or coriander leaves here for garnishing later on. There is around a teaspoon of kasuri methi or dried methi leaves. There is half a teaspoon of jeera or cumin, some mustard oil around 2 spoons, and these are all the masala. There's salt over here. There's a teaspoon of garam masala, around 1/3 of a teaspoon of haldi or turmeric powder, around 1 heaped teaspoon of chili powder. I have used Kashmiri chili powder right now, but you can also use the spicy one. And there is some dhania or coriander powder. This is around a teaspoon, but not really heaped, but around a teaspoon. So this is all that we have right now. I'll go ahead and grind this in my mixer jar. All this has to be coarsely ground. Cooker is hot. I'm going to pour the mustard oil in this and let the mustard oil heat for some time, and then I'll put the jeera. So let it just heat for a minute. Or here's my jeera going in. Can you see how the jeera is spluttering? It should splutter in this way. Now let it just splutter for around 10 seconds or so, not very long. And then I'm going to add this onion, garlic, chili and ginger coarsely ground paste. Be careful because it's going to fly now. Let this fry on a low flame for around 2 or 3 minutes, not very long. Don't increase the flame, otherwise it will burn. When you see oil leaving the side like this, you can add in your tomato puree or tomato paste that you have. Again, mix it well and let it just cook for a minute. Fry this for a minute. Add all your masalas and your kasuri methi too, and just let it fry. Again, very low flame, remember, and keep shaking this constantly so that it doesn't burn. Fry it for a minute or two until the raw smell goes. Now once you see this oil leaving the sides like this, you add in your rajma. Don't add the water so soon. Mix this up. Mix this really well. Let the rajma just cook in the masala for a few minutes. Added this rajma. Just close it with the cooker and keep just close for around 5 to 7 minutes. Let it just cook in its own juices. Let it cook in this masala, because the taste is very different when you just allow it to cook by itself before adding the water. So I've just let it cook for 5 to 7 minutes. This is after 5 to 7 minutes. If you think that your masala is too dry and it might burn, you can add a little bit of water so that it just doesn't burn. Anyway, now it's cooked for 5 to 7 minutes in its own juices. I'm going to now add some water in the mixer jar in which I had ground the tomatoes, and I'm going to add that around half this mixer jar. And I'm also going to add more water. See, it's already looking so good, right? Once it cooks, it will look even better. This is the size of the glass that I'm using, so I'm going to be adding one more of this glass of water. Depending on how thick or thin you want it, you can add the water. Now I'm not going to add too much water because we like it thick, but if you like it thinner, you can add some more water. So I have basically added around 1 glass of this size. and another half a glass which I had added to the mixer, and I had shaken it a little so that the tomato puree doesn't go waste. The cooker, and I'm going to let it be on a high flame. I'm going to let it get one whistle on a high flame, and after that I'm going to lower the flame between low and medium and let it get around 7 or 8 pressures for the rajma to cook perfect. Ready. I'll release the pressure and we'll open it. Wow, see how yummy it looks. And see how nice and thick the rajma has become. Even if you see, once you touch the rajma beans, even they will be nice and soft. Can you see how easily they are mashing? That's how it needs to be. That's the reason I kept it for around 7 or 8 whistles. So I'm going to now finally garnish it with some coriander. And it is all ready to eat. So while this rajma was getting ready, I was also cooking some jeera rice out here. So we have this jeera rice along with our rajma. So do try out this recipe. Here's lunch finally. Look at my beautiful rajma out here. There's jeera rice, there is rajma masala, there is salad, there is some pickle. Try out the rajma masala and tell me how much you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to your calls, your messages, the pictures of the food you send. So enjoy your rajma masala, enjoy the view outside my kitchen, and have a great day ahead.